Round 2. Recently, I filmed a video in which I tried to put a graphics card in the Windows 7 machine. It went poorly. And how about the ever important crooked Metapod? Cover that up. It is indecent. With the USB stick in there, looks like the world's largest vape. Yeah, so you can hear it, I'm getting audio, but I'm getting nothing. But I also just realized I never tried the display port out on the GPU, so dongle time. This project is really bumming me out, man. The VGA port was bad, and I kind of need VGA for, you know, this ass-old monitor. And it was kind of working through the display port, but I didn't realize this at the time. I was just confused why it wasn't working and like getting really frustrated. But I think the adapters I was using, 2 of them, were causing like just weird issues with like higher resolutions. Like anything over 800 by 600 was just unusable. It would start flickering, and then if you go even higher, it would just like not show anything on the monitor. And I was just really confused why. Round 2. Let's try again. This is, I think it's a AMD Radeon 7570, I think. That might be completely incoherent nonsense that I got wrong, but whatever. I've got the drivers on this USB stick. I didn't bother like filming anything like with the computer turned on because I've already got footage from the last attempt. I can just show that, it's fine. This card is DVI and DisplayPort only, but got this neat little adapter. Okay, it fits, good. Good. Wasn't particularly worried about it not fitting, but good. I already did benchmark this with the integrated graphics, so I'll show that. And I do plan to benchmark it with this new card as well. It's in. Okay. Cool. Alright, so it's hooked up. Moment of truth. Hey, BIOS, nice. Starting Windows. Definitely lost the screen resolution, so I don't have graphics drivers at the moment. Yeah, do not have graphics drivers at the moment. I'm missing Arrow as well. Okay. There we go. Okay, that was weird. Guessing it's like my USB stick or something. Like I'm guessing that's just my... Yeah, that was my USB stick. No idea how it didn't have the drivers, but okay, cool. I think this is the right one. How many times did I open that? Okay. Good start. No idea if this is installing the drivers or just the software. There were like 2 things listed on the driver download for this card under like 64-bit Windows 7, and I'm not entirely sure if I picked the right one. Who knows? Alright. Got that error on the last card too, but the last card was also not working in BIOS, so... Okay, AMD installer. Okay. Is that installing the installer? That's Typical graphics card things. Okay. Yeah, I think that was installing the installer. That's... Never change, AMD. Never change. Alright, AMD Radeon software and drivers have successfully been installed. Do not automatically download latest drivers. This thing is not connected to the internet most of the time. Alright, restart now. Here's hoping I don't get a black screen indicating resolution issues again. That would suck. I think it's pretty unlikely. I think the issue I was having with the last card with the display port, is that correct? I don't know. The display port was the adapters I was using. I think that was the issue. But the VGA port was definitely dead. The VGA port was definitely not working. So that's great. But through DisplayPort, I had to like go into like Windows, like I don't know what it's called, but like the recovery, like safe mode thing, and then tell it to launch in like a low resolution mode, where it then launched, I think like 640 by 480 or something. At which point I could attempt to change the resolution, and it didn't particularly work great, but I think that was an issue with the adapters I was using, more so than the card. The VGA port was definitely cooked. It wasn't working. It wasn't showing up in BIOS either, but... Okay, so it definitely is. It does seem to be working. I'm seeing a mouse cursor. That's a good start. Good sign. I do seem to have the resolution now. Good. Good. All there seems to be the right screen resolution and everything. Nice. Delete the installer for the installer for the drivers. It detects my USB stick apparently. Something, yeah, 3D mark. I'll be running that later, but now let's see a modern indie game running on this thing. I'm curious if this is gonna run any better than it did on integrated graphics. And it'll do it, like it'll play. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of slow. Yeah. I have no idea if it will. Absolutely no idea. And if it doesn't, you know, who knows? But let's try it. Actually, I think I was playing on goals last time just to keep the experiment proper. It's loading. It's a bit better, yeah. It does still a little slow. After it's loaded everything in, yeah, I think it's a little like stuttery, but it's a lot. It seems to have more like stutters, but like overall it runs better, which is interesting. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. Yeah, overall it seems to run better. I mean, it's a card from 2012, I think, running, like, to be fair, an indie game, but it's also, like, a game from, like, I want to say this game is from 2021, I don't know. But it is an indie game, to be fair, but still pretty cool. I mean, it's running totally cromulently. Nice. Now I'm just playing cat lateral damage. Like, now I'm literally just playing this game. Yeah. Okay. Yup. Cool. Quit the menu. Yep. I'm actually curious about the, Okay. I think 1280 by 800 looks better, actually. Yeah, I think that looks better with this monitor, actually. Yeah. Probably not going to impact performance very much, so I'm not going to bother testing it, but I think that looks better with this monitor. Performance, full. Probably should do the benchmark tests only, but last time I did it, everything. I know the demo doesn't impact it, but I'm just gonna, it's gonna go ahead and let me just load the results from the last run when it was on okay, when it was on the integrated graphics. So 479. Yeah, I admittedly have no idea what that means, like, in relation to other computers, but it sounds bad, right? Like, this was just, like, integrated graphics, and, yeah, around 30 mark. And now I'm gonna stop filming, because, yeah, this is probably gonna take a bit. Stop trying to connect to the internet. 1458! Yeah. Yeah. I think, like, the last score was 1079, I think. Yeah, like, yeah. All that I changed was the GPU, because it was just integrated graphics, right? So, yeah, GPU, AMD Radeon HD 7500 series, CPU, AMD A4 3400 APU with Radeon HD graphics. Cool. That's cool. So, one last thing. I probably don't need 30 mark there. One last thing. There's just one more game I'd like to test. Also, a modern indie game. I didn't test this in the previous video, so I have no footage to pick from. And I didn't think to test it before putting the GPU in. But I'm curious if this runs any better. It is a 2D game, so I'm kind of doubting it. But who knows, maybe. I have played this on this machine before, so I kind of have a baseline of how it runs. Which is pretty decently, like, playably. A bit of slowdown, but, you know, it's fine. For a game that, like, prides itself on running at 60 FPS, maybe it's not fine. But, you know, it plays. And it plays. So let's try it on, you know, this. So the level select thing is still kind of slow, but I remember the level select before any of the patches ran slow, even on Switch, which isn't surprising. I had to overclock it when I played it. Which isn't surprising. It's, you know, the Switch, but, you know. Oh, not responding. Okay, cool. I was trying to move the window so it was easier to film. Alright, probably not going to play through this entire level, and I also forget the controls. Where are the controls? Okay. That. So that's grapple. Okay. Options. Controls. So grapple is J, talk is I, slam is K, and jump is L. Okay. Yeah. Still a little bit of slowdown occasionally, but I think it runs better. I mean, it might just be placebo effect, but I think it does overall run better, except for when it's stuttering like that, which I noticed happening in cat lateral damage as well. But you know, I'm also running this with a spinning disc. Like, I've got a spinning disc, and add that a laptop drive in this thing. I've got a laptop drive in here because that's just what I had on hand, because I was like, I just wanted to like test it and see if it would boot up and install Windows, because I had issues with that, and it evidently did, which absolutely shocked me. And I was planning on putting an SSD in it at some point, I just never did. Also, if my gameplay here isn't great, not to be that guy who blames the controller, not me, but I'm also really not used to playing this game with keyboard and mouse. I'm used to playing with a controller, but can't be bothered to plug one in. Well, we take those. You know, now I'm just playing Grapple Dog. Yeah, I am very not used to this game with keyboard and mouse. Or rather, just keyboard, you know, it doesn't use the mouse, but I am very not used to this game on keyboard. It's just level 1, too. Imagine what it would be like with one of the more intense levels near the end of the game. Like, even with the, like, cheats that I'm using, and the accessibility options, which are basically not cheats. I think they're very important, but I actually use cheats to add accessibility options to games I'm bad at, so, you know, blurring the line, I guess. Shit. Cool. Cool. Did not do that level anywhere near thoroughly. But cool. So it seems to play a lot better. Yes, you can pet the dog. Seems to play a lot better with the graphics card, I think. It's been a while since I played it on this machine, to be fair. And I never actually tested it. And I also don't think it has... I don't think this game has a frame rate counter, and I don't have, like, fraps or whatever you would use to add one installed on this machine at the moment. I just can't be bothered. And, like, it is running, like, windowed. I mean, it is running windowed. To be fair, last time I played it, I was playing it windowed, too. Because that actually did seem to help. You know what? Oh, no, I remember why I was playing it windowed. Look at that. Yeah, the letterboxing is blue. Yeah, no, that's why I was playing it windowed, not performance. Never mind. Yeah, okay. Thanks, game. Anyway, yeah, this worked a lot better than I expected. I'm a lot more happy with this than round 1, of course. But this, like, seems to work, and seems to be an improvement. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. And, yeah, yeah.